Yo, yo, yo. What's up, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook? Let me set this up a little bit better. Facebook, YouTube, those are my friends and family from Instagram, all platforms that are possibly viewing us right now. Thank you for joining me on this discussion. I'm hoping that you guys really enjoy it. But first, I want to give a shout out to everybody who joined me in the last discussion. Please, if you can hear me, leave it in the comments. Let me know that you can hear me, just so I can be able to continue without stopping a bunch of times. So if you can hear me clearly, please leave it in the comments. Leave it in the comments. That way we can begin. Hopefully we get a lot of views today. We get a lot of people joining us. Like, share, and subscribe if you can, or if you will. And today we're going to be discussing, I'm going to hit briefly on what we discussed in the last live, and then I'm going to move on to discussing the issue with trafficking. So once again, if you can hear me clearly, put it in the comments, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or from Instagram or TikTok. Please leave it in the comments just to make sure that you guys can hear me. So I guess just to double tap a little bit, you know what, first, I wanted to talk about one of the elected officials, man, because it's really crazy what everybody is pushing right now. Oh, man, big ups from Australia. Most def. Land down under, mate. But yeah, I wanted to talk about one of our elected officials who was pushing the assassination of Putin. I see that as very ridiculous, idiotic, and it's ill-informed or misinformed. Why would someone put that on national TV that we should assassinate Putin, especially if he is this strong enemy? Why would we push for the assassination of someone who can possibly kick our ass? It's like one of us spreading the message for somebody to beat the bully's ass that beats up everybody in school. Not the one that's scared of people or the bully that could possibly get beat up, but the bully that is known just for whooping ass. So why would an elected official say somebody should assassinate Putin? To me, that sounds idiotic, because now if there's an attempt on Putin, what does that do? Thank you, Land Down Under. I'm glad that you guys can hear me on YouTube. Please, if you're on TikTok, if you can hear me, please make sure to put it in the comments and say that you can hear me. That'll help me out a lot, just to make sure that all my audios are good. I got someone helping me this time. So guys, please leave comments. Help me out. Let's interact. I support Lindsey Graham's comments. Is that Mon Rana? Hey, if that was Lindsey Graham, thank you for that information. If you support his comments, I'm not gonna say anything evil or mean about you. I think that the comment is stupid. Because what happens is, if there's an attempt on that, it was led by Lindsey Graham. And what does that do? It is not protected underneath the First Amendment. It's not. It's just like if somebody said somebody should go and kill Biden or Dr. Fauci. That's not protected under the First Amendment. It's inciting violence. So statements like that is the same thing that everybody was against as far as Trump, when they say insinuated that they should storm the Capitol. So a person must be for storming the Capitol whenever they say things like that. And in a way, just like what some of the elected officials in Florida had said, I mean, it's sort of terroristic, or if that's a word. So it's like terrorist wordage, and that would cause issues. And if someone went through with it, we would be in conflict, or they would think that it was us. Sort of like with the Biggie and Tupac issue from back in the day. Because they were saying, one was saying, oh yeah, this person going to get shot, and then it happened, then what it do? It deepened the conflict between the East and the West Coast. So I just see that as it's not a good statement to make out in public. Yes, you can make statements like that behind doors or not to the public, but whenever you put that out there in the airspace, it can affect people. Let me know what you guys think. I'm not gonna say Lindsey Graham is an idiot. I'm not gonna say that anybody who agrees with Lindsey Graham's opinions is an idiot. But the statement lacks intelligence. It doesn't help. But let's continue. I'm just gonna briefly go over what my last live was about. If you missed it, and if you're on TikTok, please. It is on my YouTube. I went down a list of different things discussing how it's not the best decision for America to talk about how Russia's doing war crimes. Like we don't even have a dog in this race. Because we've been committing, not we as in me, because I haven't, but America has been committing war crimes since its inception. But how, Montavious, or I digress, how is America committing war crimes since its inception? As soon as, when they got here, the Native Americans or the native people here, whether it be whatever type of, or whatever tribe that was taken over, we killed by the millions. We wiped them out, or we killed many of them and then put them in little reservations where if they leave outside of that reservation, they no longer get money. We pay them to stay on reservations. And I know this because I lived in Cherokee, North Carolina for a little over a year. And I spoke with the natives there. So went from natives and progressing to the Africans or the ones who they brought on ships. There was war crimes that was committed against them. They were prisoners of war and they were treated wrong. And then you move on, and now multiple people were, whether it be the different bombings in America, whether it be the different killings, mass murder, like all of these different war crimes were committed in America. And then we progressed up into where we was committing war crimes against other countries, whether it be Cuba, whether it be Venezuela, whether it be Iraq, Iran, Egypt, Syria, like we've committed many war crimes. So how can we try to fix our lips to say Russia is a horrible place? It's a cesspool, and they're committing these war crimes. Yeah, they are. But how can we try to sanction them or say anything about them when within the past 5 to 10 years, which I showed in the last video, we were doing the same thing. We were doing the same thing. Let me know what you guys think. Leave it in the comments. Were we not, or were we doing the same thing? Don't worry, I'll wait. I can't wait. But it's sort of like the town rapist or the family rapist talking trash about the rapist across the street. How can you say anything? It's silly, to say the least, if I can say that. It becomes silly. But today, guys, as I continue to progress, we're gonna get onto a video. If you are watching on TikTok or Facebook, I can't say for sure whether on Facebook, Instagram. I know on YouTube, you guys will be able to see the video that I'm going to be showing. Hopefully some of you have seen it. And if you haven't seen it, you will be seeing it today if you're on YouTube, or Facebook. On TikTok, you guys will only be able to hear it, but if you go over to YouTube, you'll be able to watch this. But part of the discussions as I'm progressively moving past, briefly going over the last one, the last live, we're going to see Trump's involvement as far as trafficking goes. Because I had hit on that the last time, and I went over an article from Real Raw News where they were discussing the reason why Putin was attacking Ukraine. And throughout the news now, guys, we can see they're going over what Putin is doing. He is saying things about biolabs and XYZ. So I want to look at that also. Look at these videos so that we can really try to come up with our own conclusion rather than taking their opinions or just listening blindly. Now, I'm not going to say anything that I say is set in stone, guys. I'm going to say don't take my word for it like Lamar Burton, and you guys go do your own research, but I'm going to present things that may not be, or a perspective that may not be on mainstream media. I have a question, guys. I have actually a few questions. If you can, please leave the answers in the comments. These are not rhetorical questions. These are things that I would actually like to know you guys' opinions. I see you, USMC 8589. I'm a big supporter of my fellow veterans, so shout out. But I have a few questions. If you can't answer this, how many people now? And this is gonna sound crazy, but it's not rhetorical. How many people support prostitution, sex workers, OnlyFans, and things like that? How many people support that? You can go live where you want to. What do you mean, dear 2325? I can go live when I want to. But yeah, how many people support those different things? That's just one question. It may have sounded like multiple. How many people support prostitution, sex workers, OnlyFans, and things that are like that? Leave it in the comments. That's question number one. How many people support those different things if it was forced? How many people support it if it was forced? Now, that's not rhetorical, but I'm seeking an answer for that. And there's a reason why I'm asking that. Leave it in the comments. Next question. And this one goes further into that same, form. How many people would support either of the first two questions if it was a child? Whether it be child prostitution, child sex working, children on OnlyFans, or anything like that. Whether it be forced or whether it be their own decision. How many people would support that? Leave it in the comments. Now, if you did find a child in a situation like that, how would you handle it? How would you handle a child that's stuck in child trafficking in general, which is like child prostitution, child being any type of sex worker, whether it be OnlyFans or anything like that? How many people would support that? Let me know. Leave it in the comments, because that was, according to this news article that I read on the last show, that was the premise of Russia continuing its attack on Ukraine. Now, within the last live, I went over also a lot of the crimes against humanity and the war crimes that Ukraine was committing against its own people. But what are they, Montavious? I'm glad you asked, because that's a really good question. Let's go over them. Just give me a second. I got to try to pull these things up. Land Down Under Nate says, there are many ways of putting trauma on the soul. I would fix these souls by, what is that, holographic kinetics? I'm not sure what that is, brother, but I would say if it benefits people, guys, I would say anything that would help. So let me try to pull this up for you guys. And it was as easy as like typing it in on Google to find out what are the crimes that Ukraine has committed, because nobody really commented on the last video, but I can ask it again in this one. Before this year, Can anyone name one positive thing that Ukraine has done or that has been talked about with Ukraine? If you can, leave it in the comments. And if you can't, leave it in the comments. And guys, I'm going to be saying leave it in the comments throughout this discussion, because it's going to help my analytics. It's going to help me to be seen more. And yeah, I it'll just help out as far as my live stream. So let's see. Let's get ready to pull this up. And again, guys, this is just going to be brief before we go to the video. Again, if you're on TikTok, you won't be able to see what I'm posting, but I am going to read it. But if you want, guys, if you're on TikTok, on my home screen, there's a link that goes over to my YouTube, where you can actually see these articles that I'm posting. All right, let's bring this up. Share screen.
It's Dreamtime Healing.
It's Dreamtime Healing. Oh, if you can, I mean, what is Dreamtime? Oh, Dreamtime Healing. Dreamtime Healing using holographic kinetics is an Aboriginal healing technique based on an ancient understanding of lore. And that sounds amazing. Shoot, if it helps people who are dealing with trauma, I say more power to it. All right, so look, this is what I come up with after seeing corruption or after typing in corruption in Ukraine. Again, this is Wikipedia, but Wikipedia is a secondary source, but it is good for being able to connect to other sources. So I use Wikipedia because it offers a lot of information that connects to a primary source. So just roll with it if you can. So corruption is widespread in Ukrainian society. In 2012, Ernst & Young put Ukraine among the 3 most corrupt nations in the world, alongside Colombia and Brazil. In 2015, The Guardian called Ukraine the most corrupt nation in Europe. According to a poll conducted by Ernst & Young in 2007, experts considered Ukraine to be the 9th most corrupt nation in the world. So it's going to continue, guys. As you can already see it on YouTube, if you're watching this article, it's going to talk about how Ukraine was a kleptocracy, where the people in power use their position to enhance their own lives. And doesn't that sound exactly like America? That sounds like democracy to me. America's democracy, if I can say. What do you guys think? Leave it in the comments, because I think that is America's democracy, where they use their positions to profit. Sort of like Nancy Pelosi. I don't know how many people know it, but Nancy Pelosi has been making millions in stock. Now, and I'm pretty sure that she has the ability to look at certain things as far as the stock goes. To me, that's very sad that nobody is really bashing it. She came out and was like, well, other people do it too. Are we going to stop them? That doesn't mean that it's not wrong. What in the world? These people should be in jail. People like Nancy Pelosi, Biden, and Obama. Like, a lot of people should be in jail. And what are we going to do about it? Are we going to continue to talk about it on social media? On another note, though, guys, I wanted to get you guys' opinion. I was wanting, let me bring this down. I was planning to go out on the streets with a sign and to even engage with people or discuss the things that are going on that this corrupt government is doing to our people, and hold up a sign. And then if anybody engages me, discuss all of these different things that I see. Do you guys think that's a good idea or a good way to reach out to the neighborhood? Let me know in the comments. All right, so I'm not going to continue on this Ukraine corruption portion here. If you want to see where I read all that, check out the last video. But guys, it's a list of things that show that Ukraine was hella corrupt. Like they were messing up. They mess up their people. Like, they're corrupt in their regular government, They're all like most of their politicians are trying to make money off the people. Their education system, it's corrupt. And this is from a lot of different news sources. This is the reason why Ukraine has not been able to join NATO. They didn't want anything to do with Ukraine. They offered, but they never actually signed them on to NATO because of all the bad history. But Biden has been trying to get NATO or trying to get Ukraine to join NATO or get them into NATO ever since he was in office last. But I guess that's a little crazy. That's not a little crazy, seeing how he's had connections with them monetarily through his son and through other ways. I think I even posted a video on my TikTok where he was trying to bribe the people of Ukraine. And who says that in the public? Check out my videos on TikTok. Who says that I bribe people in Ukraine? I told them if they didn't want to do this, then we weren't going to give them money to help them. Where is this okay? Is it okay? Because I'm under the thoughts that it is if we're allowing it like this. But I digress on that. Let me remove this. Let's continue to go on. So, as far as going back to the last live, guys, we have the the conversation of Russia saying that they weren't necessarily just bombing places indiscriminately. They were bombing places that had biolabs that was being funded by America, and that they gave America the chance to come out and tell the truth and to be pretty much to vindicate everything, to bring out the truth about what is going on in Ukraine. But America spend it. But how did they spend it? Let's look at this video, and it's crazy what they did as far as this video. I got sort of like chills listening to the stupidity being said within it. It's with Marco Rubio and I guess Victoria Nuland. Just a short clip. All right, let's see. Let's try to bring that up. And thank you once again, guys, for watching and coming to chill with me. And thank you, everyone who is interacting with me, because it's helping me to get it in and to continue. All right, so let me see. Let's bring this in. I'm going to get to it, guys. No worries. So, Senator, is this it? Yeah. Let me see if we're at the right part again.
Actually, I don't really think
Let me turn up the volume.
He's a habitual negotiator, but he never leads to anything. That's why Biden demoralizes opposition. That meeting did tremendous damage. Well, I only have a minute left. Let me ask you.
Here we go.
Does Ukraine have chemical or biological weapons?
Ukraine has biological research facilities, which...
You see how she evaded that question? Most people won't be paying attention to that. Now, most people, when they hear that statement right there, what they'll go with is that she said no. But she did not say no to that. What she did say is that Ukraine has... She went to she jumped over and said Ukraine has research facilities, which may be true, but it didn't answer the question. Let's hear it again.
I only have a minute left. Let me ask you. Does Ukraine have chemical or biological weapons?
That question right there should get a yes or a no. But one thing that I noticed as far as this administration, it could possibly be other administrations as well, the people that are put in power, they never really answer questions. whether it be the judges who are being nominated or anybody else that's being asked questions. They don't answer the question directly. They bounce around. And it's a tactic that's used by a lot of people who study law. Even I do the same thing whenever I'm having conversations with my wife. If I don't want to answer the question directly, I'll justify my statement by changing it to the way I want to say it. Now, my wife's sitting in here and she's probably like, yeah, but that's neither here nor there. But listen to how she says it.
Ukraine has biological research facilities, which, in fact, we are now quite concerned Russian forces may be seeking to gain control of. So we are working with the Ukrainians on how they can prevent any of those research materials from falling into the hands of Russian forces should they approach.
I'm sure you're.
Okay, so if you guys can hear that, what she just said is that they have research facilities, and now she's trying to justify why she said that. So she's saying that they have research facilities, and that they think that Russia is trying to take over those research facilities. Now, from the article that we went over the day before yesterday, Russia was saying no, they don't care about trying to take over those places. They went in there to destroy those facilities. They went in there to destroy it because it's a threat to Russia, especially if the U.S. is trying to take Ukraine and bring them into NATO, which would make them part of the Western world. So why would he allow them to have research facilities? And along with research facilities, what do you think they actually have? It's sort of like the NIH calling itself a research facility for COVID and things like that. So if it is in fact a research facility, then that means that it has what they're researching. How can you research nuclear weapons and not have nuclear weapons? It's like researching how the body works, but not having a body there. This is why, like, I guess in biology or chemistry, when they have to actually dissect an animal. They don't sit there and just go through theater like what we did with COVID. They go through and actually have to open up the thing and they see all the different organs. What do you guys think? Leave it in the comments. If they have a research facility, does that not mean that they also have the weapons? And also another question. Is that not what the reason why we bombed Baghdad or we bombed Iraq? Is that not the reason why we were in conflict with Iran? It's because we thought that they had research facilities. I thought that all countries agreed to stop any type of research or any type of building of these type of things. Correct me if I'm wrong, but let's look at it.
You're aware that the Russian propaganda groups are already putting out there all kinds of information about how they've uncovered a plot by the Ukrainians to release biological weapons in the country and with NATO's.
Now that right there, and I hate to cut it off right there, but because that's actually the article that I had read earlier, is that they were actually working on different biological weapons to be released from Ukraine. And this is the reason why in that article, it was saying that Putin was saying he was sending down a purifying fire on Ukraine because their plot is that they have a few different diseases there that they have been manufacturing. They have trucks where they're trying to get it into Poland. And this may be the case why America is trying to talk with Poland to send fighter jets to Ukraine. And this may be the reason why we're sending billions over to Ukraine to make sure that they have the proper technology. When I was in the Army, guys, I was a 14 Tango. I work at the Patriot missile system. And what they're saying is they're not going to send fighter jets over there. They want to send the guys who I worked with over there. They want to send missile defense just in case Russia decides to bomb them again. Now, and that's one of the reasons why I'm against it. But as you can see, guys, he's saying that Russia is putting out propaganda. And now propaganda is all they're saying is they're putting out news different from what we're saying. So don't listen to them. But listen closely what he's saying. I'm going to rewind it just a little bit.
Kinds of information about how they've uncovered a plot by the Ukrainians to release biological weapons in the country and with NATO's coordination. If there's a biological or chemical weapon incident or attack inside of Ukraine, is there any doubt in your mind that 100% it would be the Russians that would be behind it?
What type of question is that? That's such a leading question, guys. He's saying if anything biological happens in Ukraine, is there any doubt in your mind that Russia did it? And guys, you're going to see me looking around, but I'm working on TikTok and on YouTube and Facebook. But he's asking this leading question, and she's sort of smiling like, yeah. If any type of bombing happens, then it is 100% Russia. Let's check it out.
There is no doubt in my mind, Senator, and it is classic Russian technique to blame on the other guy what they're planning to do themselves.
Now, with that being said, she just said that it is classic for Russia to do that. But is it not exactly what America did? Even with her saying, she's old enough to remember what we did to Iraq. And what Little Bush was saying. How Little Bush was saying that they had weapons of mass destruction. And that led to a war, to the public killing of Saddam Hussein. But after he was dead and after all this stuff, they came to the conclusion that there was no weapons of mass destruction. And he was like, well, there was no weapons of mass destruction, but oh hell, forget it. I don't know. I mean, this is the information we had. No, this is something that is known for America to do, not for Russia. Can anybody leave it in the comments? Let me know what classically or historically or however a person may want to put it. Let me know where in history has Russia been known to just attack people. And let me know where America has been known. You can see on the video, guys, if you're watching on TikTok, go over to YouTube and you can see this lady's face. All of them sound deceptive, and he is going along with her. He's leading her to say these foolish things. But let me see if this is over.
Last question. I am certain.
Yeah, that's over. I got another clip for you guys. We're going to move on to the next clip. It's with the same guy. Let me get it. Yeah. He's talking about the same thing with another lady. Let's discuss it. This was posted today. Hold on. Let's stop sharing that. Pull this out the hat. Thank you once again to everybody who is viewing me, whether it be on TikTok, whether it be on YouTube, whether it be on Facebook, whether it be the fan page or my personal page, and those who are watching me there who are from I almost said Ukraine, who are joining me from Instagram. All right, let's blow you up. Actually, yeah, let's blow that up. Forget it.
I'll direct this to you, Director Haynes, but anybody who wants to answer it can do so. As I think we've learned from all this, the best way to combat disinformation is through transparency. So I want to walk through some component pieces.
Oh, man. I have to stop right there. Did you hear what he just said? The best way to I guess, combat this disinformation that's being brought out is to be transparent. Who knows this administration to be transparent? I would say they lack transparency greatly. That can be seen as far as COVID is gone. There's so much This and misinformation has been put out there by this administration. And yet we're sitting here doing what? I guess having a conversation about it, but thankfully we're all here having a meeting of the minds, trying to come to the proper conclusion, trying to get the information or the complete matter like the Bible says that we should do. But let's continue.
Of a particular topic involving labs in Ukraine, and then allow you to expand, or anyone to expand that could provide greater insight. As you're all aware, Russia has been laying out this argument for a number of months now about how there are these labs in Ukraine that are developing chemical and biological weapons, that the U.S. is involved, that they've discovered it, and they've been making that argument for a period of time, and it's the argument they usually make before they use it.
All right, so as you can see here, guys, he's setting up the stage once again. Marco Rubio is talking about how Ukraine is arguing the fact or the matter that Ukraine has biolabs. But let's see how he's going to try to address it. Look at the way that they try to say things, and that's how you can tell a snake. This is the reason why I'm not for Trump or against Trump, but this is why I enjoy the perspective of Trump, because he wasn't a life politician like these guys are, or people who went to school for politics. He was a businessman, and I like the way he handled things with America. But he's trying to set up this conversation, and he's pretty much, I used to debate a lot about biblical topics, and one thing I know that helps a person's argument, especially if they don't have any facts as far as what they're bringing forth, or they don't have really good information, what they try to do is they try to downplay the other person, or they try to smear the other person just so that they sound smarter, or the other person has already been pushed out of the audience's mind. And it wouldn't really matter what information is being brought out, because they've already been proven in your mind, not in yours, those who are watching, but they've already been proven in everybody's mind that they are corrupt. But let's continue to listen what he's saying. Listen close. If you're on TikTok, guys, and you can let me know if you can hear the video that I'm actually playing. You can't see it, sorry about that, but if you can hear it, or if you want to see it, guys, there's a link. It should be in the comments and on my private page, on the home page. Go to it, and the link is there. You can see the video that I'm playing. But if you want to just listen to it, that's fine too. Let's go to it.
That kind of stuff themselves against someone. So let me just start with the questions, the component pieces, and then sort of allow you to expand more on the important part of it. There is a difference between a biological research facility and a biological weapons research facility, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Does Ukraine have any
You see, he's already setting it up. Now listen to how she answers this, because she's going to do the same thing that the last one did.
Biological weapons research facilities?
No, let me be clear. We do not assess that Ukraine is pursuing either biological weapons or nuclear weapons, which have been.
Now, the way that she answered that, it's pretty much insinuating that she didn't answer the question directly. She said no, but she answered what she was talking about as far as the biological weapons. She said we do not assess that they are trying to produce this. That doesn't mean that they aren't actively doing it. It means that we aren't there. We from what we looked at, we can't necessarily say that they are. Now, what happens if they go into a facility and don't look around? To me, common sense says that they're not going to see anything. Or if they sent Joe Biden out there, I can only imagine what they would see. I mean, or what he would see. But let me rewind it just a little bit.
That Ukraine is pursuing either biological weapons
Hold
or
on.
nuclear weapons, which have been some of the. No, let me be clear. We do not assess that Ukraine is pursuing either biological weapons or.
See, that they're pursuing. It doesn't mean that they don't already have it or that they haven't already been researching. Leave it in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. Am I reaching? Or do you guys sort of agree, or am I wrong? Like, let me know what you guys think.
Nuclear weapons, which have been some of the, basically the propaganda that Russia is putting out.
Okay, so they do have the biological research facilities. What is our government's role in their biological research programs?
So as I understand it, Ukraine operates about a little over a dozen essentially biolabs, and what they're involved in is Ukraine's biodefense and their public health response, and that's essentially what they're intended.
Can anybody explain to me their public health response? Why do they have 12 different biolabs as well? Putin, within that article, had said that they attacked a few different biolabs, and they also gave names for places that they did attack. And I'm not going to waste too much time on this, guys, because I do want to present this video where, because I wanted to sort of lead into where I was going with it, but the video that I'm going to be showing is a sort of like a documentary where Trump is fighting against human trafficking. And this is why the conversation that was going on within this article that we went over 2 days ago, where Vladimir Putin was talking with Trump, and he was saying, "Hey, I know you really understand the protection of children." So I wanted to show you guys this video that I was going over, and I just wanted to briefly go over. I don't know what just happened on the screen. Maybe I just redid that. But I'm going to take this off because I just wanted to sort of lead into what we're talking about. But let me see if there was anything else that I was going to hit on, because I want to go ahead and get into the main video for this that we're going to be watching. Another thing, this clip that I'm going to be showing in a few seconds, guys, also connects to what Putin was saying in the article. A lot of the different things, or a lot of the different places in Ukraine that Putin is attacking, is filled with they've been replaced. Sort of like what this next video is going to be discussing: Russia attacking children's hospitals and maternity wards. I think that we all can agree that that is a very horrible thing, right? Is it a good thing or a bad thing? But it's going to be discussing that. And it's only 3 minutes, and then we're going to move into the video, if you guys will. So just bear with me. If you're on TikTok, you'll hear the conversation about them attacking children. But listen to what they're saying, because this is why we can't trust the propaganda that our media has been giving us. We know for the past year, or from 1 year to 3 years, that our media has been lying to us. Nobody can dispute that they've been willingly lying to us about everything. But let's get to this video. I'm about to share it. All right, hold on. Bring that up.
Linda Smith on TikTok says she doesn't watch the news because she finds it hard to believe we are getting the correct information.
Yes, I definitely agree, Linda Smith on TikTok. I think that one thing that Denzel Washington, and granted, he's not like a great scholar or like this, he may be influential, but he's not like this very wise dude, or I don't know, maybe he is, but he said if you watch the news, then you're misinformed, but if you don't, then you're disinformed. And so we try to stay open with the open mind. We sort of watch the news, but we don't just take it at face value. Whenever we get news, we take it, and then we try to see if there's any other sides to that story. So here we go. This is the foreign minister denies Russian forces targeted civilians by bombing a children's hospital. Listen to this.
Excellency, Foreign
question. My name is Hadley Gamble. I'm with CNBC News. Your Excellency, Russia has used a lot of different words to justify the invasion of Ukraine. You've said that it's for the Ukrainian people, but how can you possibly justify the bombing of a maternity ward and a children's hospital? Do you agree with President Zelensky that that is an atrocity? To target pregnant mothers and children is in fact an atrocity. And also for the Russian people themselves, today Russia faces a $40 billion default. That's worse than we've seen the Russian economy since 1917 and the Bolshevik Revolution. How do you justify it to the people at home that you've wrecked their economy for an invasion that, frankly, the rest of the world does not believe should be happening? Thank you, sir.
If I can, I just want to interject right quick. One thing that also is common whenever you want to get somebody to get on your side, or whenever you want someone or you want to use someone to get on your side, they often use a woman and they'll ask emotional questions. Now, those questions are very good questions that will pull at the heartstrings of the people. And she seems very upset. And this is a tactic that's also used against people like Ben Shapiro and a few other people who are prominent against the far left. And just listen to his response, because they will use emotions. And if you don't know how to control yourself and you don't know how to go and find the root matter, then you will be captivated. Listen to him.
Thank you very much. Regarding the maternity hospital, this is not the first time we have seen pathetic outcries concerning so-called atrocities by the Russian armed forces. On the 7th March, 3 days ago, or the 6th or 7th, I don't remember exactly, at the UN Security Council, our delegation presented facts that this maternity hospital had long since been captured by the Azov Battalion and other radical factions, from where all expectant mothers, all nurses, and all personnel have been kicked out. This was a base of the...
All right, so from what he's saying, he's dispelling this disinformation. He's saying, because he, I guess, lives and knows the actual information, because he has firsthand knowledge, or maybe secondhand knowledge, and what she's going off of is maybe third to fourth hand knowledge. And he's saying that it was not a maternity ward. There was no women, children, or nurses and doctors there. They were actually kicked out by militant forces and are being used for other means. But I digress. Let him talk to you.
Ultra-radical Azov Battalion. These facts were presented 3 days ago, so you can make your own conclusions about the methods used to manipulate public opinion across the world. I've seen reports today by your personnel and other Western media outlets, which are very emotional, but unfortunately, the second side of any situation, the side that enables an objective understanding, is never given due attention. As regards the economic situation in the Russian Federation, we'll look after that for ourselves. The president and our government are handling this. We have just seen for ourselves once again. You say we have used many words to justify what we are doing in Ukraine. We have drawn attention to the fact that Ukraine has for many, many years been made anti-Russian. And when the West publicly and openly, starting from the early 2000s, demanded from Ukrainians before the latest elections to determine if they're with the West or with Russia, meaning either you're with us or you're against us. What values are these in the West that were instilled in the heads of the Ukrainian people? Furthermore, we have observed such manipulations, such as when a pro-Western candidate found themselves in last place, as was the case in 2009. I think when, in violation of the Ukrainian constitution, the West forced the Constitutional Court of Ukraine to adopt an anti-constitutional decision on holding a third round of voting.
So, as you can see within that video, hopefully you can hear it on TikTok, and hopefully can everybody hear that on YouTube and Facebook? I want to make sure that everybody is able to hear everything properly. That one was a little bit low, but what he was saying is something that's definitely been true. Did you know that the Ukrainian president actually locked up his opposition for who was running for president there, and their I guess people who are working with them? Did you guys know that? Because to me that doesn't sound good. Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? Let me know, because if let's say if Trump, for those who or Biden decided that that they didn't like the opposition and they didn't want to have somebody to run against them, and they locked them up or put them in prison, would you guys approve of that? And he's saying here, you guys are bringing all this disinformation. We have put the facts out there. We've given you the proof. It's up to you to look at it. And this is one of the issues that even we've had as far as the thing in the arm. I would use the word more often, but I don't want to get canceled too fast. But this is that there have been truth about these things, and people still overlook it, or they be forced into being okay with it. Or like what Eric Holder and George Bush said, if you continue to put information out there, people at some point are going to start believing it. But I digress on that. I'm going to take down this video, and we're going to go to the, let me make sure. How's everybody doing out there in these different places, guys? Linda Smith says, no one wants to see it. Blinders. And I definitely agree. A lot of people are doing just like this, and they have that tunnel vision. Tunnel vision is only good whenever you're trying to focus on a task. But if you have tunnel vision walking on a pedestrian walkway or a crosswalk, yeah, it's not gonna end good for you. You're actually gonna get messed up. And that's the way it is as far as politics and the way that this country is ran. If we walk around with blinders on, just like on a crosswalk, you're bound to get hit by something. Especially if you don't look both ways first. But just give me a second, guys. We're going to go to the video. What did Land Down Under say? We may not be able to go over everything. All right, so, and sorry, Land Down Under. Sorry, Land Down Under. I can't respond to all your messages. I didn't even see them because I'm trying to bring forth this information that hopefully we can have a meeting of the minds on. Yo, what's up, Mark? Much love, bro. Much love. All right, guys. The title of this video that we're gonna be going over is called "They Hid This from You" about Donald Trump. We must end all corruption, and this is why I referenced to yesterday, because one of the reasons why Putin had said he attacked Ukraine was because he said that they were dealing. Not only did they have biolabs that were dealing with different types of chemicals and different types of, I guess, nuclear things. I don't know how to really word it, but it also said that he was attacking pedophile rings. When he was going for these biolabs, he found a lot of children in like these little huts. What would you guys do? Would you just say, "Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna let Ukraine handle their business"? If that is the case, if that's what you're gonna be saying, guys, then you're no better than the family who knows that the uncle of the family or the grandfather or the auntie is molesting or raping the children. You're no better than them. But I digress. Let's get to the video. I'm gonna try to get this up, guys. Just give me a second. This thing sort of has to load. It's on Rumble if you guys want to find it and watch it at another time, but we can watch it. I'm going to put it on now so that we can go over it. Let me know if you guys can hear it when it does come up. Hold on. Try to bring this up. I'm going to share the screen. You see the game, then you can. Land Down Under says, if you see the game, then you can choose not to play it. Who's manipulating you? Yes, I agree and I disagree. Some people can see and still not know. It's the some of the parts of, or some of the issue is not knowing. You can see, like, let's say, I know a guy who used to rob people, and he would be walking towards a person in an aggressive manner. If you don't know that somebody is walking towards you with an intent, or if you're not cautious, like, you don't know that you're about to get robbed. So, with that being said, like, sometimes you just don't see it because of not having enough information. Sometimes we're not ready for the information. Cognitive dissonance kicks in and we're not ready for information. Yes. Land Down Under says, isn't that why you're talking here now? Yes, that is the reason why I'm here discussing this. But a lot of people still won't even receive the information. And I'm not saying that my information is correct or that it's wrong. I'm just putting the information out there, the same that these news agencies is. And you guys, everybody who watches, are the ones who are taking the information and doing what they will with it. But let's see. They hit this. Let's allow that. Let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna pull myself off. You guys can still hear me, right? Please let me know if you can still hear me on YouTube, Facebook, and the other places, because I took down my video so that I can blow this up. Is it full screen?
This is going to be the proof for you.
Today's ceremony, however, has very special meaning.
Okay, to give you the strength to have the courage to trust in the plan for the next 6 months, because you're going to see overwhelming proof.
Because today, we are not merely transferring power from one administration to another, or from one party to another. Very much, everybody.
From the Oval Office tonight, President Trump with a wink and a tease.
Thank you very much. You'll find out. But we are transferring power from Washington, D.C., and giving it back to you, the people.
Every single government on earth, all of them, have capitulated over to Trump.
White House veterans warn words matter. Those words that come out of the president's mouth have an impact all around the globe, and sometimes there are unintended consequences because of the words that are spoken.
Mr. President, I'll give this ball to you, and now the ball is in your court.
The gift of a soccer ball.
You guys know what this represents? Well, maybe it's the comic books. What's the front could be the comic books.
Guys, just to look, I just want to break in there. What do you guys think the calm before the storm is? What do you think the calm before the storm is? Guys, this video is going to be you. If you haven't seen this video already, please, if you're on TikTok, if you want to watch it on TikTok and on YouTube, this video is going to bring a lot of information that make you like, no other president is known for doing this. No other president is known for doing this. And this is going to get wild. Hopefully you guys enjoy what's about to go down. Well, not what it's about to go down, but what I'm about to show you. And no problem, Land Down Under Nate.
Do not allow anyone to tell you that it cannot be done. No challenge can match the heart and fight and spirit of America. We will not fail. Our country will thrive and prosper again.
I got to say, 4 years ago, I was honoured to come to America to bring the Brexit message, the message that you can beat the establishment. And that is what Donald Trump did. He beat the pollsters, he beat the media, he beat all the predictions. And here's the worst bit, they've never forgiven him for it. They've never, ever forgiven him. They have spent 4 years trying to delegitimize him. 4 years of the Russia hoax. 4 years of the false impeachment. Most human beings under that barrage would have given up. This is the single most resilient and bravest person I have ever met in my life. And when you vote next week, you are not just voting for who the President of the United States of America is, you are voting for the leader of the free world. You are voting for the only current leader in the free world who has got the guts to stand up and fight.
It's just chaos all the time. It seems like he's the commander of the chaos.
To fight for patriotism, to fight against globalism. You'll be voting for the only leader in the Western world with the real courage to stand up to the Chinese Communist Party. And a man who in 4 years hasn't just cut your taxes, hasn't just improved the economy, but a man who right now is bringing Israel together with Arab nations.
We have before us a rare opportunity to bring security and stability and peace to this region and to its people, defeating terrorism and creating a future of harmony, prosperity, and peace.
And that's what he's done.
After 49 years, Israel and the United Arab Emirates will fully normalize their diplomatic relations. They will exchange embassies and ambassadors and begin cooperation across the board.
And I wish you Godspeed. I really do.
Thank you.
This is going to be the proof for you. And you took 6 months to clean house, clean the swamp in Washington.
The White House insisting President Trump never tips his hand.
We're never going to say in advance what the president's going to do.
We need to be tough at times, but you can't get everything done by putting people in a corner. Tonight, the former reality TV star turned president is leaving American allies and adversaries with a cliffhanger. It's not about I win, you lose. The other thing is, when you look at the Congress, though, it's like 24 hours since John McCain was put to death.
And that was the summer of 2017, and that's where this whole story I'm going to tell you today begins.
If I can, guys, I just wanted to... Let me see if I can pause this. On that portion, I would say, hey, guys, look that up. Look up John McCain put to death for treason. I looked it up, and they're saying that John McCain didn't die from and this is just other news. I'm always pushing for guys to look up other news and don't just take mainstream media's word for it. What other news is saying is that John McCain was put to death for treason, not died of a brain tumor. They're saying he did not die of a brain tumor. They're saying he died from committing treason. Now, if that be the case, let me know what you guys think. If that be the case, that he died of treason, how many other elected officials do you think could possibly be put to death for treason, just like what the article is saying about John McCain? How many other ones do you think could be put to death for treason? Whether it be Biden, Obama, both Clintons, little Bush, or whoever else. How many people do you just go over? Make sure you go over this video. You guys can watch this later. But that got me a little excited. I'm like, oh, so the word is that John McCain was put to death rather than dying. Is that the reason why there is no real word of, oh, he's at the hospital or he's in hospice. Now, there could be, maybe I didn't see it or find it myself, but I just think that that is an interesting statement. What do you guys think? But let's continue. I'm going to continue to jump in. Hopefully that's okay. Let me know if it's not. If you guys want to just continue to let it flow, I'll do it. But let's interact if you guys want. I have someone, I'm going to put it on full screen because I may not be able to, I won't be able to see your statements or comments. But if I have someone helping me, my wife is helping me, so she'll tell me if you guys are commenting or if there's something I need to address. But let's go.
If it wasn't for us being so asleep, none of this would have been allowed to happen.
Billy, stop. Okay, stop. Chill. Okay, stop.
All I can say to you is that we are responsible, all of us.
Are you kidding me? The Super Bowl?
The next 6 months are an opportunity. It's an opportunity for all of you to become the kind of hero that you've always wanted to be in your eyes.
Our agency has a very good reputation for finding people.
No fences on the backside. We're going to have to cover that 2 and 3 corner.
U.S. Marshals suit up to get to work. They're looking for someone on the run, but not a dangerous criminal.
We're going after children.
Well, CBS 46 cameras were there during this mission, and our Megan Packer takes us inside Operation Not Forgotten.
Trust in the plan that there are good people fighting against the sickest, most evil people in the creation of evil. Come on. There are.
Gotta stop it, guys. Gotta stop it. Look at that. I think that he is. Linda Smith said I hadn't heard that one. Interesting indeed. It definitely is. Look, guys. This is one of the children that was kidnapped. Did you know that also recently, within the article, allegedly, I'm going to say allegedly because I can't say for sure, but allegedly, Trump helped, or Putin and Trump got together and they got 5 children that was in Ukraine being trafficked, that was from America. If you guys don't care about anywhere else in the world, I can't say I understand, but that's on you. But what I am saying is that he is one of the only presidents to actually set up a law and set up a task force to go and find children. These children that are being trafficked, that were kidnapped, that were snatched, that were whatever way you want to say it. And this little girl was brought back to their family. If you can, put in the comments, list one president that was known for something like that. Most people don't even know about this. I have a article in which I'm going to continue playing the video, but you can find it's on TrumpWhiteHouse.archives.gov. You can see where his administration put it in place. It's labeled as the Trump administration is committed to combating human trafficking and protecting the innocent. And that's how I connected the two, my last live to this live, guys. Because Putin was saying to Trump, hey, I know how you feel about the children that are being kidnapped. I know how you guys are feeling. I know how you feel about this. It's because, as you can see, Putin told him that the ball is in your court now. We're leaving everything into your hands to bring things out because they are major politicians. Trump was one of the people. He didn't have this background to where he had a certain obligation to a party. But as you can see, whether it be Republican, Democrat, whether it be liberal, conservative, or progressive, everybody who is within those different sects of government, they feel obligated, or those who are with them feel obligated to go along with that place. All right, I'm going to bring up this comment, Sheriff Lynn. And sorry, guys, if I haven't brought up your comments. I just looked down and saw the first one. Sheriff Lynn says, check out the McCain funeral. The flag is wrinkled, as well as Bush Sr. Whoa, for real? You're saying that the flag is wrinkled? That is crazy to me. When I was in the Army, part of my time in was on funeral detail. And what we did is we had to make sure everything looked crisp. If I was the one that was handing the flag to the mother, the daughter, or anyone in the family, it had to look crisp. And if anything was wrinkled, that was a slap in the face. So that wasn't happening. But I digress, guys. Let me get back to the video. Thank you everyone who is commenting and watching. It is greatly appreciated.
Good people out there, you get up and be part of this. Everything is about Donald Trump and the abbreviation that you get with Q called D-class or DECLAS. DECLAS is code or an abbreviation for D-class, and D-class is short for declassified. So the main people behind all of this have been the NSA.
Phone in your pocket right now might be a government spying device.
Access to everything about you. As soon as that information became available, a group of people within the military said, this is our chance.
The NSA's Security and Counterintelligence Directorate, also known as the Q Group, is the agency's internal police force.
They're basically the cops or the police of the NSA. Their main job is to make sure that, their many analysts and officers and program managers are not targeted by foreign intelligence services.
There is a moment in time, and we must act upon this.
So I think Joe Biden and the Biden family are compromised. Obviously, I've referenced that I held a Q clearance. You're briefed on compromise and who you're able to talk with and deal and do business with.
50 years from now, our great-grandchildren will look back and say, what a beautiful history we wrote together.
Oh man, that's comical to me. Guys, this video, although as you can see it was posted recently this year, I first saw this video maybe like before Biden got into office. And that's the thing. I saw this video before Biden got into office, and he's saying I think this is within his last, when he was a vice president, but he's saying within 50 years, we're going to look back and say that this was good. What do you guys think? Are we going to say that this is good? I digress.
Minions who are running things for whoever is hidden in the background. What these minions don't seem to get is that they're just as vulnerable as we are.
Meanwhile, as the Trump-Comey storm grows, the president kicked off his first foreign trip as US leader. He's set to touch down later this Saturday in Saudi Arabia, the first leg of a whirlwind 8-day tour that will take him to Israel.
And then he went to Saudi Arabia first because he needed to. There's a reason he went to Saudi Arabia first.
All eyes are, of course, on Trump as he takes his first steps as head of state on the world stage.
Al-Walid it was the crown prince at that time. Now, he got right into the whole adrenochrome thing.
What is this shit? That stuff makes pure mescaline seem like ginger beer, man. Adrenochrome. Adrenochrome?
You are a disgrace, not only to the GOP, but to all of America. Withdraw from the U.S. presidential race, as you will never win.
This is all because this Al-Walid got sucked in by the cabal, the 13 families, one of the three main arms of their weaponry. There are a lot of Saudis that didn't like this. They knew what was going on, and they didn't like it. But there's a lot of people that draw lines with children.
I really don't think he's the right messenger for a message, to bring a message of peace and unity to the Middle East.
A pretty stunning moment. Jim was talking about the publicity of this. Well, Saudi King Salman presented that to the president. It's a gold medal. The collar of Abdulaziz Al Saud is what it's called, and it's the nation's highest honor. What is the symbolism there? What is what is the intention as he gives him that honor? Because already what we are seeing, the grandeur of this welcome, is so different from what we've seen with past presidents.
When Trump arrived in the summer of 2017, he laid out all of the documents. That's what they did to everyone. They had folders, and the folders had all the documents.
These are some of the 33 Haitian children an American Baptist group allegedly tried to unlawfully take out of the country on Saturday.
Alberia is a small village with a painful past. All of these girls are victims of trafficking.
There were photographs that came with discs, CDs, and DVDs, and the CDs and DVDs had fantastic production value, and it had all of their footage doing the most horrific things. The NSA has it all on all of these people.
What do you guys think? Do you think that we're able to FOIA that information? Are we able to find that information and maybe even make that public as well? I think that we as a group, guys, we can go and possibly request this information and possibly get it for ourselves. And then promote that as well. Not only just promote the information, but actually be able to bring the facts and the proof of what we're saying. Now, all of this right here that I'm showing you guys is all allegations. I mean, can I say that without a doubt that this is true? I can't, because I wasn't there pulling these people out. But we should research, make sure that the king said this. We should make sure that it's video of showing what happened, but we should go in and make sure to do deeper search. And I just want to send out a shout out to everyone who is watching. I definitely thank all of you. You guys are definitely appreciated. I'm going to continue showing the video. I'm going to pull back out again. Let me blow this up again. Hold on just a second. If I can, I got a few comments I want to respond to before I continue with the video. What was the comments? All right, is there any questions? All right. I just want to address a few statements. Let me remove this. What are some of the things that's being said? Anything on Facebook or TikTok? All right, go ahead.
Sheriff is talking about the healthcare system is for management only and not to just keep you barely alive.
Yes, that is true, Sharif, and I definitely agree. This healthcare system is not necessarily for your health. It's to keep you tethered to this system. That's their main thing, to keep you tethered to them, to keep you coming back. If this healthcare system was actually a beneficial place, it would heal you and send you on your way. It's sort of like what a personal trainer is supposed to be. A personal trainer, you shouldn't be with a personal trainer for years. Unless you just create a relationship with the personal trainer, guys, you shouldn't be with a personal trainer for years, because they're supposed to get you healthy and get you to a point where you can handle it yourself. And that's the same thing that the healthcare system is supposed to be. It's only supposed to be a temporary thing where they help you to get healthy yourself. But
Under thinks that AI would be a good addition to healthcare systems.
I'm not sure whether or not AI would be a good addition to the healthcare system, only because I haven't seen it done. And I would wonder, like, in what spectrum would it be good, land down under? In what way would it be beneficial to have AI within the healthcare system? What is it? Answer phone calls? Is it doing surgeries? Or what?
Yeah, surgeries, you said it'll remove the need for certain processes.
Yes, it could be good with surgeries, laying down under, but it may not be good with surgeries. With AI, unless it's able to detect whenever a complication or issue comes, then that person is dead. It can't just continue and sew up whatever without actually knowing, okay, this person is now losing blood, unless it can like monitor and feel, oh, his heart is beating faster or his heart is beating slower. This is the issue. But a live person can be able to change or be able to see something else and be able to fix it. And that's just my opinion. But I digress. I would continue to answer questions, guys, but I want to continue with this video because it's a really good video.
This was, quite a surprising move here by Prince Mohammed. I mean, most of all, this arrest or detainment of Al Walid.
We're talking about weeks after Trump came and on his visit in July of 2017 to Saudi Arabia. After Trump left, that's when the arrests happened.
Early in November, something happened that many Saudis would have thought unimaginable. From their homes across the country, dozens of the kingdom's richest men, including members of the royal family, were swept up and detained in the gilded cage of Riyadh's Ritz-Carlton Hotel.
Well, his get-out-of-jail card is probably the priciest of them all. They're currently asking for around $6 billion from him out of an $18.7 billion net worth. So that's a tall price. He apparently is resisting that kind of a fine.
But Al Walid is the one that sort of handpicked Barack Obama as somebody that they could work with.
Faith has always been a guiding force in our...
Nearly 20% of Americans think President Barack Obama is a Muslim. This according to a recent poll by the Pew Research Center.
About 1/5 of Americans are not willing to even accept a man at his word when he says, I'm a Christian.
You're absolutely right that John McCain has not talked about my Muslim faith. And you're absolutely right that is not my Christian faith.
It was this Crown Prince Al Walid of Saudi Arabia that decided to make Obama the one that they were going to turn into this linchpin of U.S. presidents.
I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
So help you God?
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
And Al Walid was arrested, taken down, and in his place was bin Salman. And bin Salman is somebody who was not okay with what Al Walid was doing. Now, this is absolutely the truth. What happened the second day? The second day, the Crown Prince and the King both submitted publicly control over Saudi Arabia to Donald J. Trump. And how do you know this? Because they publicly held this sword dance ritual, which is a very, very big deal to the Muslim culture. And only the king holds the sword. Who's at the very center, at the top of the podium, and who everyone else is around in support of? Donald Trump is holding the sword. This is Saudi Arabia publicly capitulating, and in one of the photos that we have, it shows the Saudi king, and he looks like he's about to die. He's in so much pain at what's going on here. They just handed over the keys to Saudi Arabia to Donald J. Trump. So what is important to note is that where Trump went next, he went with Saudi as part of his team. So you need to understand, it's not just that he didn't go there and take them down and that they're never going to do it. No, they're now working for him. They're part of this team. They're part of the Q plan now. You need to wrap your heads around this.
Direct from Riyadh, President Trump took the first official flight.
And then the days that followed, Trump left Saudi Arabia and went immediately to Israel.
Defeating terrorism and creating a future of harmony, prosperity, and peace. But we can only get there working together. There is no other way.
Mr. Trump has already disappointed many Israelis. He promised to move the US embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, his next stop. However, all the signs are that won't happen now.
One thing, in fact, we can just see there, just let me stop by saying we see President Trump there wearing a skull cap, a kippah, in fact, as it's known in Hebrew, being taken to the Western Wall by the ultra-Orthodox rabbi in charge of the location. And clearly he's been asked to look at text as such, explaining the importance.
If I can, once again, guys, I just want to interact with everybody. What do you guys think about the information that we're looking at so far? As far as what he did in Saudi Arabia, does this information sound any type of like is a connection to what's going on and to why? Like, say, like the video or what we were going over within my last live. Do you think that with his relationship with the Russian president would be the same, or that the Russian president would contact him personally to bring forth this information? Because I think that's the reason why I'm bringing this video to you guys right now. Because I'm like, oh, you know what? That it clicked in my mind. I was reminded of this video that I watched a couple of years ago. I'm like, oh, you know what? That sounds like, yeah, I remember him being good with Russia. Is that the reason why he connected with them? And please, anybody that's on TikTok, that's on YouTube, that's on Instagram, that's on my Facebook personal page or my Facebook fan page, hey, please like, comment, subscribe, share this video. And if you guys have anything profitable to share, as far as these things that you guys have, I guess, to benefit everybody, feel free to, I'm going to leave the, I'm going to invite, if you have anything profitable, please don't try to join if you don't have anything profitable to share as far as what we're talking about today. But I'm going to leave, I just left the place for anybody to join in the case that you guys wanted to. I left it in the comments, I think on Facebook and on YouTube. So if you guys feel that that you want to join and add something profitable, that'll be greatly appreciated. I see is that Bandia 420Q says, because Vladimir Putin has been fighting this war alone since the 90s. And I agree with that, guys. I think that really ever since Vladimir and Bush Sr. has been fighting, and even with the Soviet Union breaking apart, guys, I think that he was fighting against, I think he was fighting against the New World Order coming into place. That's what George Bush Sr. was talking about. He was in New York, and the New World Order will come, and it will come. Like he was saying, like, yeah, we're gonna push this through, and you guys are gonna believe it. And so, like, he was really fighting against Putin during that time, especially over there in Afghanistan. So, like, I think that just like what Bandia was saying, he has been fighting against the West this whole time. And I don't think that is a discriminating thing. I think it's Republicans that's been going against it, that's been trying to push for this New World Order. Democrats been trying to push for it, and independents. All of these different people are pushing this narrative. And we as the people have to wake up and do something about it. We can't just stay here and talk. We have to share it with other people, create groups, and build. But I thank everybody for coming here, because we're having a meeting of the minds to at least start a movement. And I have another thought for myself. Like I said in the last one, guys, I'm planning to run for one of the officials as an official. And I'm going to be, now, don't take it the wrong way, I'm going to be something like a Trump, because I have no affiliations, and I wouldn't affiliate myself with any type of party. Not even to the extent of calling myself an independent, because that comes with a stigma itself. It's sort of like how someone calling himself a Christian comes with a stigma. That you can be, if you're a Christian, then you're like a Catholic. Some people might see you as a crusader or somebody, or like they always put a negative view on things. Most people don't even know that that the KKK is a Christian organization, but is like a far left or right. I'm not sure which direction it goes, but they do consider themselves Christian. So with that being said, I digress, guys. I'm going to continue because I don't want to be too long-winded. Before I do, though, I want to see if there's any comments anywhere. Hold on just a second, please.
Bandia had said where this video originated and how it was being. So Charlie Freak and his wife put together the video of Trump and the capitulates from all countries controlled by the death cults, who are the ones exterminating humanity right now. So that was interesting.
Check out Bandia 420Q's comments, guys. She's bringing some hard hitting things. The same thing with Landau under Nate. And I would say just look through the comments, guys, if you have the time. They're bringing a lot of good stuff, and you can look through the comments as the video is playing if you feel free to. I'm gonna continue.
Of the wall. What is also very interesting for viewers is the fact that he's actually standing with his wife, because men and women are actually separated in front of the wall.
Do you remember how angry most of you got when you saw those pictures of Donald Trump at the Wailing Wall? He's not a puppet for the Zionists. There are no Zionists. Remember, folks, there's just the Phoenicians. There's just those 13 families, and they're very smart, and they're very good. And he sat down with everybody in front of the camera and behind the cameras, the people that are really in power, and he laid it all out on these minions. They were balking at him, even though he showed that the Saudis had signed over, and the Israelis were balking at Trump and were not prepared to sign over. And that's why Trump stayed an extra day. Trump was not going to leave Israel without them capitulating to him.
Jerusalem, the ancient city claimed by three of the world's great religions, now central in a dispute pitting President Trump and Israel's prime minister against most world leaders. The president telling the heads of Israel, Egypt, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, and the Palestinians today he will recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital. An unprecedented move, breaking with U.S. policy since Israel was created.
And the sort of the how do you know moment is after visiting the Wailing Wall, Israel publicly submitted allowing the United States to move their embassy to Jerusalem.
But the president will not move the U.S. embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem right away, despite a campaign promise.
We will move the American embassy to the eternal capital of the Jewish people, Jerusalem.
This is symbolic. It is a symbolic act to show who has the power, even in the Holy Land.
And we extend a hand in friendship to Israel, the Palestinians, and to all of their neighbors. May there be peace. May God bless this embassy.
Guys, I just had a thought. Let me bring up myself right quick. I just had a thought, guys. For those who are biblical scholars or those who believe in the Bible, we know that there's going to be a time of peace and a time of war and issues. Do you think that, I think it's around 3.5 years where there's a time of peace and a time of pretty much good things. And then after that, it's going to be like 4 years of bull crap. Do you think that that's what happened as far as Trump? When he came in, we had like 3.5 or maybe like 3 years of good times. But you remember at the end of his presidency, the last year was the worst. They had riots. They were killing police. They were burning down buildings, burning down houses. There was like complete destruction. And then from that point on, from all the riots and all the other bull crap, it's only been a downhill slope. And it's not even like at a 45-degree angle. it's like at a 10 degree, and it's falling fast. What do you guys think? I'm under the suspicion that it's sort of like a biblical thing that must happen, that's going to happen. And I think that it's going to happen because a lot of people, or most of us, are not going to say anything or do anything. But leave it in the comments. I think this is sort of like a biblical thing. I'm hoping that, you know, the world is not just going to end like this anytime soon, because I want to have I've had a full life. I want to live long. If I make it into heaven, maybe I'll have the longer life. But what do you guys think? That's just an assumption of mine. Thanks again for all the likes, comments, and the subscriptions, guys. Much love to everybody on all platforms. But let us continue.
May God bless all who serve there, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Step number 2 of the journey completed.
President Trump met with Pope Francis at the Vatican, toured St. Peter's Basilica.
Saudi, Israel, and then the Vatican.
Hi, George. Good morning from Rome. As you know, these are two leaders who don't see eye to eye on a number of issues. They had that very public feud during the campaign over immigration. But today, that first face-to-face right here at the Vatican, and they both seem to genuinely get along.
Vatican, and he presents to Pope Francis a massive, apparently the folder was absolutely huge, and handed it over to them and said, yeah, you know, take your time, have a look-see. Apparently Trump kept making little digs at Pope Francis about his red shoes. Yeah, you might want to put your red shoes on when you look at all of this stuff. And so that's what Trump is saying. I'm not leaving here until you sign some documents for me. It took the Vatican that night, and the next day they capitulated.
When you see Pope Francis with a world leader and he meets a lot of them, it's easy to read into it. He doesn't have much of a poker face, I guess. But here he is with German Chancellor Angela Merkel, happy. Here he is with President Putin, not too thrilled. See you with President Obama, laughing it up. And finally, here he is with the Trump. It looks less like a meeting, more like the Trump family passed away and they don't know it yet.
Donald Trump has a look on his face that is a mixture of victory, joy, and mischievousness.
And the two men who so publicly clashed, today ending their meeting in a handshake. Yeah, so there were no cameras inside for the meeting between the president and the Pope, but we are hearing a little bit about what they discussed. They talked about the situation in the Middle East. They talked about the protection of Christian communities around the world. A number of international affairs issue talked about here today.
And they symbolically signed off. Now, what did the Vatican have to do to sign off? You see, the Fed is controlled by a certain group within the Catholic Church who went forth and spread the teachings of Christianity. The Jesuits.
When is a central bank not a central bank? When is a private bank public and a public bank private? Sound mysterious and full of secrets? Well, that's the Vatican Bank.
Is in 1929 they hit a deal with Mussolini, the head of the fascist state. He recognized them as a real country, that little piece of land, and in return gave them about $1 billion in the day's money, compensating them for the loss of the Papal States. They said, what do we do with $1 billion? We're clerics, not financiers. They hired a guy who was a brilliant financial whiz, Bernardino Nogaro. He came in. He understood arbitrage, he understood offshore banking, he understood how to move hard assets around, investments in real estate, and he started to do that. In the middle of World War II, he said to the Pope, I need a bank. It's not enough to have correspondent banks. We need to move our money off the radar so the British and Americans can't follow what we're doing, because they were playing both sides. The Americans and Brits they were investing in, and the Germans and Italians. They didn't know who would win. They wanted to make sure they were covered. And that's the birth of the Vatican Bank. They go from an institution that can't embrace capitalism to one that suddenly has its own bank in the middle of the war.
They were in control of the Fed. So Trump did not leave until Pope Francis issued a papal bull announcing that by a certain date, the the Vatican Bank, which was in charge of was the head executor, the exchequer of all of the earth-wide Federal Reserve banking systems in each country, would be handed over to one Donald J. Trump. Donald J. Trump is not, Mark, just the executor, the exchequer of the U.S. Treasury and therefore the Fed within the United States. He is the exchequer for...
Just wanted to just pause it just for a second. For those of you guys who are in the know about trust and estates, you know what an executor is. An executor is an administrator, and he administrates over estates, and pretty much the estate of pretty much the world finances. In this case, let me bring this down for a second. The administrator in this case, which is Donald J. Trump, is being given pretty much the world finances. All different, he's going to the major places. Did he go into Africa? Did he go into these little insignificant places in the Middle East? No, he went to the main place in the Middle East, which was Saudi Arabia. He went to them, and I'm not even going to go into that. He went to Saudi Arabia. He went to the three main religions as well, which control everything. He went to China. He went to North Korea, and he went to Russia. They all were in connection with each other. So, he's now becoming in control of everything. And I want to make sure that that's understood. But I digress. I'm going to let it continue.
Earth. He is the exchequer for the treasuries for every single country on earth. That's what I told you earlier. No human being in history has ever been more powerful, owned more things, or richer than Donald Trump.
And we are working on that as we speak. We have conversations with various representatives of China. I believe that will all work out very well for everybody. China, Japan, the United States, and everybody in the region. As far as the currency devaluations, I've been complaining about that for a long time. And I believe that we will all eventually, and probably very much sooner than a lot of people understand or think, we will be all at a level playing field. Because that's the only way it's fair. That's the only way that you can fairly compete in trade and other things. And we will be on that field, and we will all be working very hard to do great for our country. But it has to be fair, and we will make it fair.
London was the financial arm of all of this. Washington was the military arm. Rome was the central brain, the core. They call it the spirit, but it's not. It's sort of the central brain of this unholy trinity of power. And what they did by doing this is that, so Trump's thinking is like the CIA, the Rothschilds, and the financial district of the city of London is too evil. It's too far gone. Don't even want to work with them. And he's not. He circumvented them.
Its patriarch during the second half of the 20th century was Sir Evelyn Rothschild, who even today is the financial advisor to Queen Elizabeth.
All of their power was cut off, and they had been forced to do some really humbling things over the last 18 months.
Once again, I have to jump in there. What do you guys think? Do you think that that's the reason why they were so adamant about Trump getting out of office? They tried everything under the book to try to get him out of the office. They tried to impeach him. They tried to bring up when he was talking about grabbing women by the crotch. They brought up a list of different things to try to get you, the people, to hate Donald Trump. When under him, we went from a recession underneath Obama and then got a little bit away from the recession to being a prosperous nation again, to where a lot of people that was in the minority was moving higher up into the middle range, to mid range. But what do you guys think? Is this why so like other people is being funded so hard, while all of these different media platforms and social media platforms were all against Trump, pushing a false narrative that now is being proven to be false, and nobody is apologizing for it? Let me know what you guys think. Let me let this continue.
Particular by POTUS. Now, when Trump left Rome, he flew directly to Brussels.
A city he previously called a hellhole. Can he and NATO's European members agree on who their real enemies are? And on International Missing Children's Day, we learn what can be done to both find and prevent losing children.
And you all know the two big players that are in Brussels. You have this European Parliamentary for the EU, and then you also have NATO that just happens to be in Brussels as well. They were all there, all of the political heads, along with their finance ministers, and then all of the behind the scenes individual players were all there for this. And Trump apparently very famously, he called everyone together for this meeting, and then he purposely came late.
Well, it's difficult to predict or to interpret how they're feeling, but it's basically been a meeting, not a summit, that has been surrounded by a lot of anxiety from all in Brussels and also from European capitals.
And he made them just sweat it out. He made these pieces of dung in Brussels sweat it out.
You guys see that in the bottom of it? It was saying that all these guys that are connected as far as NATO were anxious. Why do you guys think that they were anxious?
So Trump makes the wait. He walks in late. He throws this big folder on the table, and he says, "We have it all. We have it all." And in short order, those little rat.
If I can, guys, hold on a second. I think that my live on Facebook is down. If you guys can give me a second, I just want to check on it. I'm sure they would possibly try to disconnect this video from being on Facebook, because I just referenced to all the big social media platforms and how they've been blocking this type of information out. So if you guys can give me just a few moments, I just want to check on that right quick. Is that okay? I just want to check on it just to make sure that everybody on there can see me as well. Because they're doing a lot, man. I'm sure if I possibly would get blocked on Facebook for trying to even promote something like this. Let's see. The NBCU Creative Content Protection blocked your video because it may contain content that they own. Guys, let me know what the NBCU is, because it got blocked on Facebook. That, I guess that figures. Hopefully this video doesn't get blocked on TikTok or doesn't get blocked on YouTube. Can you find out what the NBCU is? Creative Content. Because I haven't seen anything like this on online except for on is a media news company. Well, it's a media news company, guys. It's being blocked on Facebook. I didn't even know that would be possible. But I'm already being blocked on Facebook from this video, but I'm just going to continue. If everything that I'm saying is being seen on YouTube, can you guys let me know? Is any words being blurted out? I wonder if this video is going to be blocked from you guys being able to see it on YouTube after it's up. I hope not. If it is, it just is what it is. I probably won't be able to. If you guys want to watch the video on your own. Oh, sorry, I just noticed that my Facebook was up on on live. But dang, that sucks. Hold on just a second. Let me try to work on this, guys. I'm gonna restart the video. But as you can see, that yeah, that was just being you guys could possibly see that it was blocked on there. But I digress. Let me get ready to bring this back up. Let me X off of there so my private stuff is not out in the public.
Those little cowards, they all capitulated in very, very short order. And there was a whole bunch of things that occurred in the following days from there, including the EU backing down on Brexit.
No more financial contributions. No more European Court of Justice. No more common fisheries policy. No more being talked down to. No more being bullied. No more Guy Verhofstadt. I mean, what's not to like? I know you're going to miss us. I know you want to ban our national flags, but we're going to wave you goodbye. And we'll look forward in the future to working with you as sovereign.
If you disobey the rules, you get cut off. Could we please remove the flags?
And NATO having to, step up and basically pay for the bulk and all of these different nations instead of the United States having to fund all of them.
It plans to tell other members to spend more on defense and step up the fight against terrorism.
I have been very, very direct with Secretary Stoltenberg and members of the alliance in saying that NATO members must finally contribute their fair share and meet their financial obligations. But 23 of the 28 member nations are still not paying what they should be paying and what they are supposed to be paying for their defense.
It's not like that's a big deal in terms of saving money or anything. No, it's symbolic. It's symbolic. You're going to pay for NATO from now on. We're not, because I'm in charge. So when the photo op came for this famous meeting in Brussels, Trump again came late. And he just shows to everyone who was there that he was in charge of the meeting. He disseminated the information to the press. He said what was going down. He showed them. He came in late, and then he left. And he owns the EU and NATO. That's why.
That was funny to me, guys. Did you see how he moved the one guy out the way? And I don't know who the lady is, but she reached her hand out, looked like she wanted to shake his hand, and he was like, "Get that out of my hand, out of my face." But I digress. Let's continue.
They've done everything they've done ever since. Now, in October of 2017, there was an attempt on the life of the new Saudi crown prince.
Yeah, if you look at the map, Jake, it gives you an idea of why this was so deadly.
Hundreds of our fellow citizens are now mourning the sudden loss of a loved one.
This little operation that was set for him in Las Vegas was taken down at the last second, and he was protected.
Some at the concert thought it was firecrackers. Some thought it was something wrong with the audio. They say it took them just a few moments to realize what was happening.
What happened at this Las Vegas battle?
Hey, you guys! Get down! Stand that way!
Bin Salman was saved by the U.S. Military through the intel received by the NSA, and then given to Bin Salman by Trump. He was asked to take on an even bigger role, and he agreed to do it. He basically was saying to Trump, anything, my brother, anything, my brother.
Thank you very much, everybody. It's a great honor to have the Crown Prince with us.
It was a low-key arrival for such a high-profile visit. The Crown Prince from Saudi Arabia did not go in through the front door, but soon found himself in the Oval Office. And there, US President Donald Trump, addressing mainly a domestic audience.
On Trump's behalf, Bin Salman went to all of the major corporations, and in particular, the media companies, so Google, Apple, Twitter, Facebook, Microsoft, all of these main companies were all targeted by Bin Salman. And on Trump's behalf, he visited all of them. And of course, this is all verifiable. I've got all of the documentation, all of the imagery showing all of these meetings taking place in late October, early November.
All right, I wanted to say something about that, guys. Did anybody see when or hear about when Biden was calling together all these major corporations as well? He didn't use the Saudi prince, but he called them all together just before we had the issue of COVID restrictions being put in by the different companies. I was wondering why nobody was having any outcries against it, but Biden was meeting with all of them, so he can tell them, especially the ones that had over 100 employees, so he can tell them, hey, this is what I want you guys to do. And then they implemented it. It was televised that he was going to do it, that he was going to talk to them about placing in restrictions. And here, the Saudi prince plus Trump is talking to all these major corporations. But let's continue.
Of 2017, and this is Bin Salman essentially helping Trump to do all of this work for him. And he went and he visited all of these puppet heads for all of these puppet companies, and he basically read them the riot act and showed them the documentation that the NSA had on all of them, and basically said, you play for Team Trump, and Trump is now in control of these corporations, or declass. All of this information will be declassified one by one, and each one of you will be offered up to the masses as a child murderer. So they all capitulated, and there's the money shots of all of these various heads of all of these various companies, including Jack Dorsey for Twitter. So all this stuff that's been going on lately with the censorship of Trump by Twitter, it's all part of the game that needs to be played out for people to get angry and to wake up to what the heck is the evil that's going on, and to say something about it and to do something about it and begin to change their lives. So that's real. All of that is real. And Bin Salman helped Trump do this, and he went to all of those CEO heads of all of those major media companies. And
in the case that anybody is coming in late, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Go back to the beginning so you can get the full context, and even you get more of a context by going to the Hi Pamela Jean 34. Like, you can get even more context by going to the last live that I did, which was just as long as this one may be. But once you go to the beginning of this video, you'll understand more of what's going on here. This video is mainly about child trafficking and Trump's influence on the world. How he pretty much had the whole world capitulate to him, or to hand everything over to him, from Saudi Arabia to Israel to Rome to China to Japan and pretty much the whole world. So please go back to the beginning. Not saying do it now. If you're enjoying the live, let's continue. And thank you everyone who's commenting and sharing information, guys. Go through the comments, check them out, and they're providing a lot of things that possibly coincide or are opposing to my views or what I'm saying. But I digress. Let's continue.
Social media companies.
We are the oldest ally of Western America and the Middle East, more than 80 years.
But there was a warning from the president to Saudi Arabia and others in the region.
Whether it's Saudi Arabia or other countries, as we know, there will be no funding. We have a zero tolerance for the funding of terrorists.
Among the things to be covered in the talks, the Iran.
Just on that point, guys, that makes from just that. Hold on, let me bring that down for myself. Just that makes him 10 times better of a president than our current guy that's supposedly over this administration. Because Biden capitulates to everybody. He's given China all of this. He's given Russia all of that. And, man, did he give Afghanistan and terrorists, known terrorists, people who we've called terrorists, he's given them billions of dollars and our equipment. People who we've fought against. He's given terrorist funding. What do you guys think about that? He's just handed it right over. And it's sad, man. It's not like that wasn't even a laugh. That was almost like that was a painful laugh. Sheriff Lynn says, read the terms and conditions on Truth Social. I've tried to go on the Truth Social. I think that there is a hold right now. Truth Social, guys, I'm trying to get on there. I think that it's Trump's social media that he's doing, but I would say go and view it, guys. I'm planning on going to it myself. But if you didn't already know, I just got my video is supposed to be shown on Facebook, but it was blocked. I get they saying that the NBCU is keeping that content for themselves. From what I thought, it could be shared, but I guess not. But I digress.
Nuclear deal, security across the Middle East.
We've become very good friends over a fairly short period of time.
Mohammed bin Salman has a long list of things to be discussed, debated and agreed during this US trip, and he does so believing his relationship with the president is deep, strong and mutually beneficial.
His fight, man. This is his fight.
Welcome to Mount Rushmore. Welcome to South Dakota, and enjoy your evening. Before the world, this monument will never be desecrated. These heroes will never be defaced. Their legacy will never, ever be destroyed. Their achievements will never be forgotten.
Do you guys think that it might be under Biden that the Washington Monument or any of these other major places for American history, do you think that they're going to be defaced underneath a presidency like Biden? Because all these other monuments around the country is being taken down. I guess due to slavery or due to its connection to what it was in the past, but isn't today. But what do you guys think? Do you think it's that at some point it might be there might be a riot in the area and they might destroy it? They might put dynamite in it and blow it up or whatever. What do you guys think? I digress.
And Mount Rushmore will stand forever as an eternal tribute to our forefathers and to our freedom We gather tonight to herald the most important day in the history of nations, July 4th, 1776. At those words, every American heart should swell with pride. Every American family should cheer with delight, and every American patriot should be filled with joy, because each of you lives in the most magnificent country in the history of the world, and it will soon be greater than ever before. Our founders launched not only a revolution in government, but a revolution in the pursuit of justice, equality, liberty, and prosperity. No nation has done more to advance the human condition than the United States of America. And no people have done more to promote human progress than the citizens of our great nation. We will state the truth in full without apology. We declare that the United States of America is the most just and exceptional nation ever to exist on earth. We are proud of the fact that our country was founded on Judeo-Christian principles, and we understand that these values have dramatically advanced the cause of peace and justice throughout the world. We know that the American family is the bedrock of American life. We recognize the solemn right and moral duty of every nation to secure its borders. And we are building the wall.
Not anymore.
We remember that governments exist to protect the safety and happiness of their own people. A nation must care.
That's not anymore, guys. What do you guys think? This nation doesn't care anything about us anymore. All I got to say is that they don't really care about us, especially in its current state. With this current administration, they're taking away all of our rights gradually, piece by piece, just so you're not getting upset about it. Because if they took away the Second Amendment, like just took it away and said, no, everybody's giving us all of our guns, there would be an outcry. So they're doing it gradually. They're doing it so that you will agree to it. One thing that I think that at some point within Biden's administration, if he doesn't die in some natural way, like from old age or from some brain aneurysm again, like with him leaving the borders open, all of these people are coming in. So I said this in the last live, but all of these people are coming in this country, and they're coming in illegally. What has all the other presidents done? They have these other presidents have used ICE to catch all of these immigrants and to send them out or to bring them into where they can try to become actual citizens. Now, with that being said, consider what happens whenever somebody comes back to try to do that. It will be an issue or an issue of let me see how to say it the best. It'll be an issue of you having to give up your privacy to catch all of these citizens. I mean, all of these illegals. It's sort of like how the Patriot Act took a little piece of your Fourth Amendment. Well, it's not a Fourth Amendment liberty or right. It's a Fourth Amendment protection. So what they're going to do is they're going to do another Fourth Amendment. They're going to do another breach of your protections of the Fourth Amendment by trying to catch the illegals that have been let in willingly. What do you guys think about that? I think that they're going to use all of these people coming in to take more of your Fourth Amendment right. Now you're going to have to show your papers like in Nazi Germany. Now you have to show it because everybody's going Everybody's gonna allow it because they want to make sure that the illegals are caught. So now they're gonna be, hey, where's your papers? I want to make sure that you are who you say you are and that you are actually supposed to be in this country. And everybody's gonna be like, yeah, that's right. And that's exactly what they did as far as the thing in the arm. You have people who wouldn't consent or wouldn't agree with someone's rights being taken until that came around. Now they're like, yeah, no, if they don't want to get it, then they're terrorists. Oh, no, they don't want to get it, then they should lose their jobs. They should die. Like, there's people who are saying things just like that. So I think that they will use this situation of all of these millions of immigrants being here. It's over 2 million now. They're going to use that as a way to chip away at the Fourth Amendment protections. But I digress, guys. If you are watching me on TikTok, if any type of thing is on Facebook, again, guys, if you want to watch what we're watching, it is on my homepage. Come check it out. The video is almost over, and I'm not going to go too long over the video that's being watched because I know you guys have to go to bed. But I digress.
For its own citizens first, we must take care of America first. It's time.
Yes, it's time again.
We believe in equal opportunity, equal justice, and equal treatment for citizens of every race, background, religion, and creed. Every child of every color, born and unborn, is made in the holy image of God.
Yep.
Above all, our children from every community must be taught that to be American is to inherit the spirit of the most adventurous and confident people ever to walk the face of the earth.
I guess I have to jump back in there because that right there is a really good idea for America. But ever since he was taken out or removed, they've been pushing this CRT. I'm not sure how you guys feel about it, but I don't think that it's a beneficial move, guys. What do you think? I don't think that CRT is a beneficial move for America because it creates it creates an environment where we consent to that battle, where they pretty much put something out here for us all to try to go after, sort of like a trophy. And they create an issue where we are innately enemies, where it's black against white, or native against European, or whatever one might want to call themselves. It creates an issue. I'm not necessarily. I am against CRT, but I'm not against necessarily that we do have an open discussion about the past, but to pretty much try to incriminate someone or make someone look bad because of their race, or to make someone lower because of their race, is wrong. That's the same thing that was going on prior to the civil rights and all these other things being in there. We were criminalized just because of our race. So, with that being said, that's what they're trying to do with the CRT, at least in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. I digress.
Americans are the people who pursued our manifest destiny across the ocean, into the uncharted wilderness, over the tallest mountains, and then into the skies, and even into the stars. My fellow citizens, America's destiny is in our sights. America's heroes are embedded in our hearts. America's future is in our hands. And ladies and gentlemen, the best is yet to come. time for our politicians to summon the bravery and determination of our American ancestors. It is time.
All right, guys, I'm gonna end that video, and I think that this right here is where let me bring this down. I think that when Donald Trump came into office, let me know what you guys think. When Donald Trump came into office, that was a key time when the Republicans started to stand up and look like they were fighting for the Republic. One thing that finally hit me not too long ago is that what America's been doing is going back and forth, having a Democrat, then having a Republic. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I could be wrong on this, but the Democrats represent the democracy. The Republicans are supposed to represent the Republic. And so where we're getting confused and where we have so many issues is that we keep transferring from one to the other, from majority rules to just the people rule, and you worry about yourself, or not everybody don't help each other, but you don't harm your brother. And you're free to do as you please as long as you're not hurting anyone else. Or as long as what you do don't lead to hurting someone else. And I think that the Republicans were even leaning towards a democracy, even when they're supposed to be representing the Republic. And now you have people like the governor of Florida, who is really pushing for your rights. Check out the Democrats, not counting I think the senator from Virginia, and I think the senator from, was it Arizona? Everybody is pushing to have your rights taken away. But you have these key governors and senators in Texas and Florida that's leading the way and making sure that your liberties are protected. On the other side, you have politicians in places like Michigan, in places especially California and New York, that's all for taking away your rights and for what they call the betterment of the people. And they just see it as, I'm protecting you. I think it was Theodore Roosevelt that said that if you don't govern yourself, someone else will. So I think it's time now, guys, that we decide to govern ourselves and not let them dictate what we do. And the reason why, now I have to put out there as far as democracy, there are some good democracy, or the idea of democracy, in which they push, but they don't tell you which one they're going for. And that's why I don't like whenever politicians are being ambiguous, because there's more than one type of democracy. What we have is a representative democracy. So whatever they are saying is supposed to represent their constituents or those who are under them. But what we're supposed to have is a pure democracy, where the people voices are being heard. This is why every state has a constitution. And this is why the heads of the state and the people are supposed to have a say. But that's not the way it is. But let me know what you guys think. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and to comment on this. Share it if you can, if you will. I'm not sure if this will be able to be shared on Facebook, but I do thank everybody who joined me on these different platforms. Much love to you all. I got to cut it out here. My little ones have to go to bed. But I do thank you guys, and I hope that you will join me for my next one. I have a few different things that I'm going to be bringing out. And also, I'm going to be reading some WikiLeaks stuff, man, to further talk to you guys about the crimes against humanity that America has brought forth. But I thank you for joining me. God bless. Peace.